Welcome back for this week's drawings. We are going to be doing pet portraits, and we are going to be starting with making a chicken for our first pet portrait. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to find a lid of some type. I found a Pyrex lid, and I am just drawing around the circle because this is going to be the frame for our pet portrait for today. Lori Powers, we thank you for this picture and can't wait to get started. All right, once you have your circle drawn on your paper, it should be vertical. You are going to get started with the background. So we had kind of some trees that were in this picture. So I'm going to loosely draw kind of some curved lines that are kind of zigzag curved, if you will, that are just going to kind of show the outline of a tree shape. And I'm going to make two of these. So as you can see, I'm starting with this really large one. So at the top of my circle, I am just kind of going back and forth between zigzag and curve and coming down. It's not quite halfway down, but it's not cutting the circle in half, but it's almost cutting the circle in half, if you will. Then I'm going to get started with a kind of a smaller tree. I went about 2 to 3 inches up from the bottom. And then again, I'm going to curve and zigzag up to the side, coming back down, and then curving back. Really, the trees are not the most important things in this picture, but we do kind of want to give this chicken kind of an atmosphere or a background. So I have kind of the sky on the left hand side, and then a smaller tree at the bottom, and then a very large tree on the right hand side. All right, starting with the chicken, you are going to start with the beak, and you're going to make a horizontal line across with a diagonal line down. Then you're going to curve that line back up. So you're extending it up. Then you are going to curve it ever so slightly and then draw a diagonal line up. Curve it around ever so slightly with a diagonal line down, and then connect it to where you started. So this is just the top part of our beak. Then you're going to make a small diagonal line down and another diagonal line that connects to the bottom. So you should have the two parts to the beak now of your chicken. From here, you're going to start making that. I'm not exactly sure what it's called, so I apologize if everyone has chickens here, but there's a piece here that's kind of that red, kind of stringy piece. So we're drawing a curved line coming down, down. Then you're going to draw a line on the other side that's parallel to the beak, curving, and then it's coming to not a point, but a smaller curve at the bottom. So again, this is the part that hangs down from the beak. Then on that piece, you are going to draw a somewhat vertical line, and then it curves at the bottom and connects. Then you are going to draw another kind of vertical line, smaller, that curves and connects. So again, these are our pet portraits, okay? And the one thing you want to do is you always want to grab the personality of your pets. We're really grabbing the personality of this chicken with all the different details we're adding. So I am making a line that was somewhat parallel to the beak at the top. Then I made a diagonal line that came to a point and then came back down and connected to the top of the beak. Then I'm making kind of a vertical line so I can start to figure out where the eye shape is. So it's kind of a vertical diagonal because the chicken is tilting its head ever so slightly. Then I make a diagonal line up and then a vertical line coming down with a small diagonal and then another diagonal that connects. So this is almost kind of like a maybe a squarish shape for the part of that eye. All right, I call this the mohawk of the chicken here. So what I did was I made kind of a curved line and then a vertical line that comes up and then a diagonal line. Then I'm making a diagonal line that comes down. It's going to go around that eye. It's going to be a parallel line so you can start to see the shape of the head. Then you're going to draw a diagonal line out. extend it ever so slightly, and then draw a diagonal line coming in. Again, to all of my friends who live on farms, thank you so much for raising chickens. I am just so not good at knowing all the names of what chickens are, so thank you for everything you do. All right, you're going to make a curved line at the bottom of the face there that connected. And then we're going to go back to what I call that faux hawk, if you will. So it's a diagonal line up, then it's a diagonal line coming back down, and it's going to come more at a horizontal, if you will. Then I'm drawing a horizontal line coming up, and it curves around. So the first curve is small, then the second curve is a medium, and then we're going to extend that curve across that circular frame line that we made. So you can see what I'm doing here. And this is going to make the chicken actually feel like it's coming out of the picture, which gives you this really cool 3D effect. All right, so from here, what we're going to do is I'm going to call the faux hawk of our chicken, if you will. And we are going to get started on the right side of our chicken now. So we are going to draw the other side. So we're going to draw a diagonal line down. And it kind of looks like the chicken is tilting its head. So this line is going to come down just a little bit further. Then there's going to be a diagonal line that comes in towards the beak, and then a vertical line that comes down. We're making the space for our eye. Then we're going to draw a horizontal line that comes slightly across, and then a line that is starting to come down. It's slightly vertical. Almost kind of looks like an S shape, if you will, like a block letter S shape. And then draw a diagonal line to connect. So we should have a space open now for the second eye. So I'm just going to draw a vertical line that's kind of curved, if you will. So we have the eye on the left and then the eye on the right. So the eye on the left is slightly larger and the eye on the right is slightly smaller. I'm going to draw kind of a J-shaped line underneath that right side cheek area. Then I'm drawing the eyeball inside the right eye. I'm going to draw another curved line that is inside the left eye. And it's going to curve around and connect to that side of that eye. Then I'm going to go in, draw another curved line. I'm drawing just another smaller curved line. All right, we're going to draw the neck of our chicken. So on the right side, I'm drawing a diagonal line that goes all the way down to the side of our circle. I'm drawing a vertical line that comes down from, I'm going to say, where the red chin area is. And then on the left side, I'm going to draw a line that comes down. Down is going past that first tree. It curves ever so slightly out and then comes back down to the bottom of our circle frame. All right, now you should still be able to see a little bit of the tree on the inside of the chicken, so I'm going to erase that and erase any extra lines that I have. So now we should have the rough draft drawing part done of our chicken, so we can get started coloring here in just a minute. Okay. All right, I did draw these small kind of pupil eyes for our chicken too. All right, we're going to get started with the sky, and there were 4 colors to start with. So we have a dark blue, a lighter blue. I do have a white, and then we're also going to do the trees in dark green, medium green, and light green. So as you can see on the left side, I am making a curved kind of motion with my colored pencils for the dark blue. Then I added my medium blue, and then the white, just a little bit of white by the trees. And then I'm going back over with my dark blue to kind of blend all of those colors together so it's nice and rich. I will tell you, I did use a tone tan paper, which is going to change the look of this ever so slightly. and make the colors a little more richer because it's not white underneath. Right now I'm adding the dark green underneath the bottoms of the trees. Then I'm adding that medium green on top, as you can see, and then I'm going to add this really nice, bright, vibrant, kind of yellowish lime green on top. I'm not going to spend too much time on the background because I really want to make sure that the chicken pops out. So I'm using very simple colors, not really spending a lot of detailed time on the trees, but just giving you a little bit of a shadow. We're going to be using that sepia brown again and getting all the shadows in underneath the beak and that kind of red chin area where the faux hawk is. I'm getting where the feathers are and the neck are. This chicken is also kind of polka dotted at the bottom, so I'm also adding some small polka dots to it. I have a dark red and a light red that I'm using, so I'm using the dark red where kind of those shadows are to start off with, and using that dark red in some other areas. I then use my white and go back over with my kind of reddish orange and kind of blend all of those colors together. So I have some deep, vibrant reds that are nice and bright and kind of pop out um, that chicken's, I'm going to say chin area, faux hawk, that type of stuff. I'm going back with my white, adding my highlights. Then I went to my eyes, used that dark red, and then my light red on top. Going back in with my sepia brown, adding those shadows in, and now I'm getting started on the white feathers of this chicken. So I'm starting in the face, then I go to the neck, and I go over all the polka dots on the bottom first. Then I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the neck itself and press nice and hard with my white so the neck is actually brighter than the white at the bottom. All right, you can see I'm using my sepia brown to kind of show some variation with those feathers, and I added some polka dots on top so we have some nice dark ones. Then I added a dark yellow and a light yellow to my beak, and then the white. And that's it for it, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. Like and subscribe.